Anybody able to hear me? Hello, it's Katiana. I'm waiting for the mod pack to load up. Is anyone there and able to hear me? I definitely heard the mod pack open. Looks like Twitch is going to be a little twitchy tonight. It's giving me unstable error messages, which is not helping my testing at all. Streamlabs' little thing says that I'm talking. It says the microphone is registering sound, so that's good. I am dropping massive amounts of frames. Come on, Twitch, get your act together. I'm very quiet. Okay, let's see. If I do... How about this? Is that better? You can't hear me. Okay. Me. Oh. So right about here? Oh, JC was late. Okay. So here's where I upped it to where Captive said I sounded perfect. Okay, now JC says I sound very low, and Captive says I sound perfect. So either Captive has me turned up very loudly, or JC has me turned very low. Which is it? Okay, I can turn it up a little more. How about here? I don't want to blow anyone's ears out at on my TV, I'm low. Phone, you're turned all the way up. Okay, I'll go louder. My concern is if I'm getting better. Okay, that's good. Do. I'm better now? Okay. How about, oop, that's probably too loud. How about here? Do we think we're okay about here? Captive! Oh my gosh. We have not seen you in forever. It's so good to see you. Hello, hello. Okay, I need to change scene. Live scene. Okay, live scene. And here. And here. Oh, captive. Yeah, Twitch is being twitchy, JC, because I'm dropping frames like you wouldn't believe. It's getting better now, though. So you may have to refresh, and that may catch you up. Captive, have you seen the scene across from Petra? I gave you scenery. I've given you scenery. Oh, wait, I dropped in the hole. Yep. I put the Sonicraft stuff right where you can't miss it. The signs won't spin unless you have a event key. I sound a lot clearer now. Yeah, they'll only spin after you do an event key. So you have to beat the dude with the mustache or the metal Sonic, and you'll get a key, and then you can use the key on these, and they'll spin, and they'll give you a gem. It's very fun. Akumadori enjoyed herself immensely. The audio is night and day better now than a month ago. This is the very first night. I just got the headset tonight. So I am breaking in the headset right now. So I thought you did. It's really good. The audio is really good. Oh, that is making my day. Yay! That's making me so happy. All of the credit for the headset goes to Potox. He helped me with the shopping a million times better than my old webcam. Oh, that is so cool. I've got stuff down here too. Look, there is a yeah, Sonic's my new guard, and I have a basement now. Wait, the ladder's a bit difficult. I have a basement now where I'm like automating all the things. Yep. It's still a work in progress, but it is coming along quite nicely. And I'm running the netherite crafters along the ceiling for all of my general crafting needs. And I have netherite barrels attached to external storage for like dumping tons and tons of stuff in because I only have 2 disk drives right now. And then I added a new floor to the building. So we've got, this is still the same as it was before. And then on the 3rd floor, we have ender crafting, which my enhanced ender ingots are now done. And then on the new top floor, I have the crafting core set up, which is where we're going to make creative essence. Eventually. I know. And I'm starting the process of stockpiling the goodies needed to make creative essence. It's going to be a piece of work. That is for sure. Oh no. Yeah, as I say, I haven't seen you being able to play in so long because of your work. Well, thank you so much for jumping on, JC, and helping me play test the new headset. I appreciate it so much. And I have a ton of trophies now in my trophy room. Well, I'm sorry, my trophy buildings. Because, one wasn't enough. I outgrew it. Do, 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 do. That's great. Oh, it'll be so nice to have you back. Do, 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 do. Okay, wow. The audio on these headphones is amazing. I can really hear all of the goodies. There you are. I'm up here. Captive, I'm up here. So, I filled my first building with all the trophies. So this one is all full. And now I'm working on this one. So we have been knocking out trophies. So we've now got what 10. Yeah, the room. This is my trophy. These are my trophy rooms. So these are all the chapters I have complete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 18 of 32 chapters complete. That big black thing there is my black magic building. And then my astral sorcery that got a little out of hand, a little no. No, I don't have enough. I need more relays. I need all the relays in the world because oh my gosh, the final craft in astral sorcery needs like all the starlight that exists in the universe. And I was like, I kept adding more and adding more and adding more. And I was like, I still can't get enough starlight. Oh my gosh. I finally added this collector crystal, and that was enough to put me over the top to get the final craft. It was crazy. But yeah, so I have a bazillion astral relays feeding this little table here. Yeah. I think that's the first one I've ever made. I don't believe I've ever made a collector crystal before. I'm pretty sure that's the first one I've ever done. And then over here we've got our woot area is over here. So I did my first woot factory. It's not active at the moment, but I used this to finish everything needed to make the ultimate skewer. And so I have that ready to go for the entire server for making the ultimate skewer. Just don't eat it unless you want to be completely overrun by mobs. It's crazy. But these things are awesome for getting bulk amounts of meat. I have not. Naga did, and it did not go well. I have heard reports of his unpleasant experience in the world of eating skewers, and so I'm like, yeah, I think I'll want to avoid doing that unless we have some preparations ahead of time for that, because it did not sound pleasant at all. And then over here, I've got my mob cages going. I got the Ender Dragon, and I got, oh my gosh, you're overflowing again. I've got the Gaia Guardian, and I have the Ender Dragon going in mob cages. And tonight, I'm hoping to get a couple more mob cages going. Hopefully, that's the plan anyway. As, oh my gosh, I barely was able to get Gaia Guardian 2 defeated. I had to abort the first attempt and come back and try it on the second try. It was not easy. So now I've got Gaia Guardian going here in the mob cage to get me my Gaia spirits, but I was very, very lucky in that my first and only so far Dice of Fate, I got the Ring of Odin. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm very good. I I don't need I don't need no more rings. I'm good. I know, right? Of all the luck. And I only have 5 bees left to go, and I'll have the bees done. So, very excited about that. Bees have been cooking. They are so OP, it's not even funny. I am loving my bees. So yeah, things have been hopping. I'm getting ready to really dig into Mekanism now. I got fissile fuel going last night, so we are ready to build the reactor and start using it. Yeah. I need to do all the upgrades and everything on the machines before I really get going with it, but I wanted to get the infrastructure in place to be making it. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, I was very happy I was able to get that all put together last night. Okay, and now all I have to do is get those upgrades in place. But first thing I need to do tonight, I have a couple more mob cages I need to get in place. So that's going to be a priority. These are all the things here this is the stuff for the ultimate skewer. So all of these are the meats needed for that. Yeah, it's it's a lot of stuff. So some of these I had going with the seeds, and some of these I had in mob cages, and some of these I had running in that Woot factory back there. And it was entertaining, to say the least, to get some of these different things that were needed for it. That's for sure. But yeah, everything needed, and I think there's enough to make like 1,000 skewers. So there is, I think, more than enough skewers for everybody on the server to use for their spheres of many things. My view is zoomed in really far. My view is zoomed in really far for some reason. Well, I'm standing really close to it. That's probably why. Yeah, I have the stream going on my laptop. I've tried playing with different video settings, and it's like if I go full screen, then the picture goes away completely over here. Yeah, it's really weird. It's like I can't do full screen on my TV because then the screen goes black on the stream. And I don't know why, because I have the entire screen highlighted here. Oh, maybe I don't. If I do like that. Ah! Interesting. We got some funny business going on here. Okay, let's try this. Hang on. Do 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 do. Hey, that's looking better. Sort of better. Sort of, kind of better. Maybe a little better. Maybe. I may have to have a Kumadori assist me here. I think some setting must have gotten goofed up or something, because it's definitely not showing the full screen like it did before. Because I used to have my follower and my subscription tags overlaying, and it's definitely not doing that now. At least I can make them visible if I do that. Yeah, it's... Well, see, last night I think I had it on... I was playing, I think, with this one? I think I had it on this one. But I think that same thing happens if I try and go full screen, then the screen goes black. Maybe we'll try this one. We'll try this one. That particular one setting, maybe that one is broken, but we'll try this one. We'll try this one and see if this one works. Well, I am so glad to have you back in the world, Captive, and to hear that you're going to be able to come play again. That is so awesome. Do you remember what you were doing? As I come to my ultimate warehouse, And look at the... Yeah, exactly. It's been so long. Oh, what was I doing? I don't remember. Okay, the enhanced ender ingot is at the end of row 4. So that's going to be right there. And where's my pen? Pen. Enhanced ender ingot. Mark that one off. That one's done. So that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ingots left until we can make ultimate ingots. You had to power everything back on. You turned it off when you knew things were going to take a bit to bit back. Well, that was very proactive of you to do that. Good call there. All right. First thing we need to do, we need to make some more mob cages, as I have 2 critters ready to go into a cage. Oh. You'll get all of your bees going again and restock and get going in no time. Once you remember what you were doing. I know if I don't... Playing Ocean Block only once a week, it takes me like a good half hour to remember, what was I doing last week? Because if I'm not playing consistently over the course of the week, I forget. I totally forget what I'm doing. And I'm like, I don't remember what I was doing at all. No recollection of what I was doing last week. And whoa, we don't want to be that big. I want to go to here, here, here. I need to make mob cages. Thalassium bars. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we need THA. We have 33 ores there. And then I've got 28 more there. And some ingots. Which is very good. Now, I believe if I put it in an energized smelter, I just get 1. But if I put 2 of them together, I can get 3 in that special U. So I'm going to leave 1, and we're going to do this. And we'll process all of those into ingots. And then, did I have any... Don't have any there. Wow, in these headsets, I can really hear that furnace going. It's kind of weird. Thought I had... Oh, yes. Well, it's weird because my voice sounds muffled with the headset on. And so I'm like, do I need to talk louder? Do I need to just talk in my normal voice? It's like, it's very strange. So it's definitely going to take some adjustment for me to get used to. But hearing you guys say that the sound quality is very much improved, that is absolutely awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So, and very much a huge shout out to Potox, who was so kind enough to take the time to help me with shopping for a new headset and microphone setup because I know absolutely nothing on any of this sort of thing. And so having his assistance at shopping around and figuring out what brand to get, what is going to work best for me and all that. It was so nice having somebody who actually has a clue assisting in this department. That is for sure. Okay, let me look. Do I have any bars in here? Because I could have sworn I had some left from the first two cages that I made. At least I thought I did. I've completely gone back to chess monster status. It's just, I've gotten so far behind in dealing with all of the Sonic stuff that Akumadori brought back and all of her quest rewards and everything else. It's like we're right back to having a chess monster again. Oh, goodness. I do have them. I didn't want to use them until I got finished with that quest line, and then I can make the big boys. And I'm almost there. I'm up to the 16384. So I've only got these last 5. So I'm almost there, and then I can start making big boy drives. And that will help tremendously. That's for sure. I don't seem to have any more. I really thought I did. Okay, I think I have I have this automated. And for 2 mob cages, I'm going to need miscellaneous here, mob cage. I need 46 times 2. That's going to be 92. And 92 minus 8, 84. So I'm going to need 84 of those. Go. Thank you. How are you coming? Almost maxed out. Okay, we're going to put that in there. I do not have this thing here. I'll put that in there. Okay, so for this mob cage, I need 52 of those. So for 2 of them, I'm going to need 104. So for this one, I need 104, which I already have enough to make enough. That's sweet. There we go. Grab those. Okay, you keep producing while I go take care of making these. And we'll pop up to the roof. Hit the lever. Lovely. Okay, now I have to remember how this works. Okay, it's a 5x5 of those. And that's on top, right? Okay. So we're going to start with ugh, they sound so much like a factory block. Okay. Okay, so now the second one is going to be bar, bar, block, bar, bar around the edges. Okay, so I can hear the game sounds in my headset, but it's not going through on the stream. See, I had this problem before when I tried to use Streamlabs to stream with headphones, is I could hear the game sounds and it was not going through the stream. Yeah, she'll be here on Friday. So for some reason, when I have the sound coming to my headphones so that I can hear them, the stream doesn't pick them up. And I don't know why that is. So to those who are watching this later on YouTube, my apologies that you do not have any sound. It's going to be extremely quiet for you watching this later because you're only going to hear me. Okay, then the last step is across the top. It's okay for you because you're always so talkative on your streams. I try, since I don't have background music going, I I feel like I need to fill the fill the space in with something. No, not down there. No, Blackreach, I hate you so. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let me make sure I have all that right. This and it's just 3 on each level. The top one should be 4, so I should have one here, here, here. Oh dear. And here. Okay, so that should be the mob cage assembled. Then to make it go boom, we need an ender pearl. So we've got those, 1, 2. So if I've done this right, which yay I did. Okay, so there's the first one of those. Now we need to make a second one. Okay, and we're going to do and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Are you enjoying the new gig, Captive? It's obviously keeping you very busy, but hopefully that's a good thing. Whoa, geez. Oh, geez. Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm very bouncy right now. There we go. Oh, Captive. What was your reaction to Tyreek Hill getting traded to the Dolphins? Were you as shocked as I was? I don't think I've recovered yet. I have a friend who is a Dolphins fan, and he is over the moon with happiness. Okay, and here we go. Boom. Okay, there is the second one of those. We'll turn that off. We will put the rest of those away. I'm going to put that ore away. And then I'm going to need 2 hoppers. I have one already. I'm going to need another one. And there is 2. I combine hopper with... Oh, no you don't. Apparently I have remembered this incorrectly. I was close. I was close. I just forgot the redstone part. Okay, we now have 2 more mob cages. And while we're running over there, we will go ahead and make 4 chests. Thank you, cows. Okay, and now we'll get our chests. Okay, I'm going to put One set there, and one set there. Okay, then we're gonna put you there and you there. Okay, so the first one that we got is a ghost. It needs graveyard soil. Which I can make graveyard soil. So I'm going to put that in there. And then here is my ghost. Mr. Ghost. Pink. And Mr. Ghost is going to be on the graveyard soil. Here he is. It's hard to see him. The bars won't let me see him. Where is he? There he is. There he is. There's my little ghost. He is going to make us phantasmal ingots, which we need for our ultimate ingot. Then the other thing I need is for a snow golem. And that is for frozen cores. So for this guy, I need blue ice. Looks like blue ice is going to be our best bet there. So I'm going to put that away and do this, 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 and make some blue ice. Put you in there. And then my snow golem will go in there. And I will put you back in there. And we need these to make salamander eyes. And the salamander eyes are used for making our creative essence. So with that, we have now got a stockpile of this, and we're going to be able to make these. Unfortunately, the ingots are the rare drop, so we're going to get a lot of the phantasmal, the ectoplasm, and not a lot of the ingots. So we had to get that guy going like a sap to be able to get a full stack of the ingots to put in our wall. So had to get that going. That was very important. Other thing we need to do is the not add-ons. Where's my personal shrinking device? In here. Okay. So oh my gosh, I'm up to 54,000 fluorite and 137,000 sulfur. Okay. Like in those results. No, I didn't mean to do that. Come here. So I'm guessing that we are probably full over in our Fissoff Fleo area, so these are backing up, is what I'm guessing. But I'm okay with that. If we have a stockpile of these in advance of me actually turning the reactor on, I am okay with that. We need these 3 add-ons for our 3rd hydroponic bed. So let's go back out here. Add-on. So I need to make the speed, processing, and efficiency, which of course is our favorite thing in the world to go make with our latex. So much fun. Where is my bucket? Okay. So for this one, I need redstone, panes of glass, diamond gears, and sugar. So I'm going to need the diamond gears for all of them. So that's going to be 4, 8 times 3, 24. Run over here. And make sure that's still making gears. And it is. Okay, why is there notebook playing? I don't understand why there is a notebook playing. I have not figured this out yet. It's very, very strange. Okay, we're going to need redstone. Got it. We're going to need panes of glass. Make a stack of regular glass. So I can make some panes of glass. And then I need sugar. Got sugar. Oop, wrong one. This one. Okay. Redstone, redstone. Pane of glass, pane of glass. Diamond, diamond. Sugar, sugar. 19 hours, 29 minutes, and 33 seconds. I just got that made this past weekend. Yeah, I literally just got the time in the bottle made this past weekend because it needed to get deep in astral, and I didn't work on astral right away. Oh yeah, no. Because I didn't do astral right away. If I had done astral right away, yeah, then I would have tons. But I didn't do astral right away, even though it wasn't gated, which is, looking back on it, is like, I don't think I realized at the very beginning that astral wasn't gated, or I would have done it sooner, or at least started on it sooner. But I'm like, yeah, I got those out of order. I should have gotten astral started sooner. And then I could have gotten my time in a bottle right away. But it's all good. Yep. The important thing is that I had refined storage before both District and JC. This is not to be overlooked. Well, see, and until I can get auto feeding set up, I can't AFK because I'll starve to death. It's ugh, I do. Yes, he just did. And there's the note blocks again. I don't know what that note block is. It's so annoying. Yeah, I gotta set up some sort of auto feeding something. Oh, wait a minute. I have the Ring of Odin. I can't starve to death anymore. I'm good. I just realized I can't starve to death anymore. I have the Ring of Odin. Happy days. I just now realized that. I totally could AFK somewhere and build up my time in a bottle without starving. I could also get like the liquid meat plunger filled up and eat on that while I was AFKing because I've got a ton of liquid meat saved up. Okay, third one is the blaze rods. We've got, I know, I used it for a while in DDSS, but I'm like, I like getting my hearts. I need my hearts. I really, really, really need my hearts. So we went back to eating again. Oh, I know, I know. Speaking of hearts, you are probably so far behind in eating the new foods that Akumadori has prepared at the inn. You probably need to catch up on a lot of food. Because that girl has been doing some work. I know. I'm a very lovely dark pink. Albeit that is boosted by the. Oh, well, now that's boosted because I have my red and my yellow heart containers in my necklace, and I have the Ring of Odin. So those are getting some serious boosts from other things. So, because I know one weekend she did like all the sandwiches. She was making like so many sandwiches. It was Sandwich City at the inn. Okay, there you go. You can start making all of the things. We're at 125. So I can take you out and I can put you in here and then gem. Oh, no, not gem. Insanium. Oh, I don't have that in there yet. Okay, hang on. Here. Home Petra. We need the Insanium. Do I not have those in here yet? No, because I put the ingots in there, but I didn't put the gems in there yet. Ugh. Okay. So I need to do this, 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 this. Okay, so there's the pattern for the base gem. And then we're going to do use. There's this one. Then we're going to do use. This one. Use. this one. Use this one. Use this one. Use this one. Use this one. Phew. Okay. All right. So then we're going to have you and 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 you. So then if I want to make Insanium gem block, can I do 3 of them? I totally can. That gives me 3 of those. I can run these upstairs, maybe. Over to here. 1. Okay, I'm going to move these over. I need 2 more Salamander Eyes. Creative, where's creative? Here, just creative essence. Here. Okay, so I need 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of these. I've got 4 of these. I need to make 2 more Salamander Eyes. I have these 2. Then the only thing I will be missing is the tiny antimatter rubber and the Endumium Singularity. Progress. We are making progress. It is slow, but it is coming together, which we will take progress. So what I should be able to do is go to the bee sanctuary. And do we have... The Endumium is still in there. That's what I want to see. I come over here. And I'm going to want you. Find my Endumium bee, which is purple. Where is he? Right there. Okay. Mr. B, I need you to get some work done. In you go. Thank you. And I'm going to come over here. And we're going to put the ultimate bin here. And Endumium crystal here. Add crystal. Submit. And no. No. Remove. You go back in here, please. No, not my backpack. This. Good grief. Okay. Have that set up. Now I have to come over here. Here is our honeycomb block. Now we have to add this to that filter. And let her rip. Now, we just put 8 honeycomb blocks in there. Let her rip. Okay, so we will be able to make all of the Endumium singularities we're going to need thanks to Mr. B. No, I'm getting there. I should be really close. Where are my emeralds? Here. Oh yeah, we might have enough. Uh, dun, dun, dun. Give me the redstone. Okay, so we need scent 4 here, here, here. And then we need to controller. I need ender pearl and eye of ender. 2 of those. That is that one. Okay, so then we should have okay, we have enough diamonds. I think I have the diamond bee chillin'. We do. Okay. So then we come back over here, we'll grab emerald. Scent 5. 5 here. 13. I need more redstone. Boom. 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 And here. How am I 1 short? I started with 35. How could I be at 34? I do not understand how 1 mysteriously disappears. Every time I upgrade, 1 vanishes. Never mind, I now understand. That explains that. Okay. I could not understand before why I kept having to remake things. It was not... Okay, now I understand. It all is now clear. I was never making that spare one to make the controller. Okay, so the Tier 5 controller... Good. So now I need 2 more Tier 5 casings to finish that up, right? Where's bees? Here. I need 2 more Tier 5 casings. And I don't think I have any casings at all. So I'm going to have to do casing here. Okay, we're going to need this. Let's make 64 planks. Put that in there. I need a block of iron. 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 A couple of those. Okay, here. 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 1, 2. Then here, 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 here. That's those. Then here, here, here. That's that. Here, here. That's 3 of those. Okay, so then I need this one. And I put that away. I can put these in there. Okay, so then tier here. Oh no, I've got that. I know I have that. Hang on. Come back here, you. Here, here, here. There's the 3s. Then we need... Give me more diamond. Then emerald. Emerald, 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 emerald. 5. Boom. Mr. Emerald Bee. You're still going in there, right? Yep. Okay. You can stop now. We're good. I've got emeralds for days. I think we can stop now. All right. That is our centrifuge. Done. All right. Hang on. Okay. Switch out for the 5s. Whoops. And the controller is where? Here. 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 There we go. Okay, so now I gotta break and reset a bunch of pipes. So this one and going to not you. Reset you. Pop you in there. And no. No. Have power. Okay, looks like you're okay. Looks like you're okay. Is that the hum from the centrifuge? Crazy. I've never noticed the hum of the centrifuge before. Oh, you just have to be a happy, happy pickaxe, don't you? Totally do. Okay. Do here. And do here. That way we've got honey going all over the place here. Okay. Processing for days. Or at least you should be. Yeah, now we see it come in. Oh, baby. And the nice part is I think we have enough emeralds. We'll be able to pop that one right up to tier 5 and have a second one. Which will be very, very nice. Dude, goodbye. Oh, no, it's the sound of the ender beacon. That's what it is. Okay, then I think this has this one. Yeah, my Emerald Bee was doing work. I have 387 3x emeralds sitting here. Emerald Bee did some work. Why is this not going? Oh, probably because it's not connected. Duh. Had to be for the right angle so I could see that it was not connected. Hi. Go in there now, please. Lovely. Okay, there you go. Now this thing should really start to fly. Good deal. All right, let's go check on our mob cages. See how those are doing after I catch a quick nap. Okay. We're up to 2 ingots. Woohoo! And we're up to 3 of those, but I will take those because then I can put those in there and do salamander here. I can make 3 of these Excellent. I'll run back up here. And sadly, these don't stack, which is going to be a pain in the butt. So we're going to then put here. Grab those and a stick. Stick and this and sign. Put them away. And here, and this is going to be Salamander Eye. Lovely. Okay, so we got fertilized essence there, and we've got Salamander Eyes there. We are now one piece away from being able to make creative essence. Unfortunately, it's the one piece that requires antimatter, which we don't have yet. And we aren't going to have for a bit. Just a bit. And I cannot get down the stairs because my step up is just so damn powerful now. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have finished the center area. We have our apiaries all done. We only have the 5 combs left to finish bees. So all we have left is end gobber, the 3 draconium ones, which is draconium, chaotic, and awakened draconium. Oh, is it 4? Maybe I'm down to 4. End gobber and the 3 draconiums. Are those all that's left now? It's 4. I'm 4 bees away from finishing bees. Sweet. Okay. Let us pop over to the end. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Oh, you end them and you're very loud in my ears. Let us see how our Void Miner did overnight. Boom. It did very well indeed. Boom. That is Nanorite crystal done. Okay. Now this is used for something. It's used for processing draconium dust into ingots. So the good news is we now have the ability to process draconium dust into ingots because we have this. The bad news is we're still missing that. And oh my goodness gracious, you guys are loud. Like really, really loud. It's a good thing game sounds are not going right now. That's really, really loud. Okay, we will drop you off in there. I want to build up a little bit of a stockpile, and then we will get the nanorite void miner made so we can start getting those crystals. Oh, so much is gated behind that stupid crystal. So close we'll be able to start the next tier of gobber. So many of the things. Okay, let's go take a look at our mechanism setup where we're making our fissile fuel. Because I'm guessing what we're going to find is that my ultimate tank is full. Yep, it is completely filled. So all of my machines are now sitting here idle because they have maxed out, they're all full. So what I need to do first is I need to put the upgrades in everybody. So I've got, how many machines do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. I think I have 10. So energy. So if I want to make 80 of these, I'm going to need 80 gold dust. And for the speed, I'm going to need 72 osmium dust. Okay, so let's go to Mechanism. My crusher is still here. Gold. We need, so that is, oops, 6, 7, that's 80. So let's drop that in there first. And then osmium, 64, 16. And we'll go ahead and get all the gold and the osmium we need to make all of the upgrades and get all of them upgraded while they're idle. Because we're also going to need to make an absolute gazillion of the waste barrels. So the actual decay rate is 1 millibucket for every 1,200 ticks. But each one will hold 64,000 millibuckets. I think I want to do like an insane number of barrels. I want to have like a gazillion barrels to make absolutely sure I do not run out of room to put the nuclear waste in. So like if I wanted to make 50, not 150, that's a gazillion. But if I wanted to make 50, we have no problem making 50. Let's go ahead and make 50. And we'll start with 50. Now I have to remember, the nuclear waste is a gas, right? I think it is. So I'm going to take the polonium, I'm going to mix it with fluorite dust to make my pellets. Now, I don't know if we're going to need to make plutonium also, but right now my focus is going to be on making the polonium. We're going to have so many sinks over here, it's going to be ridiculous. Okay, then pop in the osmium, and then this, and this is for the energy. So we're gonna make 80 of those, let those start running. We should be able to use the same fluorite with another entangled block into a crusher to turn it into dust to feed it into that machine to make the polonium pellets. So we won't need any more infrastructure as far as making fluorite, so that's good. Well, this is great. I have to sit here and listen to the Mekanism machine go bonk, 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 and you guys don't have to hear it because the game sounds are not filtering through to the stream. There's a settings here. Just playing around with some different things to see if I can figure out a way to get sounds on here. That and that. And of course, there isn't. I don't know why. Yeah, desktop audio is silent because it's being routed to my headphones. Audio. Hello. Oh, now I have a sound bar now. I don't know if that means we'll have sound or not. We'll have to see. Okay, energy. Scroll up and chat. Oh. Oh. I'm in Overwolf or CurseForge and Streamlabs. I'm not using multi-MC anymore. I'm using CurseForge and Streamlabs. Yeah, but I rebooted the computer before I streamed. Normally I do, yes, but tonight after I plugged in when the headset got here and I plugged it into the computer so it could download drivers and do all the other stuff, I rebooted the computer. Yes, after I plugged in the headset, I rebooted the computer. I sure did. Okay. So, energy. Okay, I've got the first batch of energy. 2, 3, 4. let's get the speed. Whoops, not speedy. Speed. And I'm going to need 80 of you. Oh, eat again? I can't eat again. Oh, I fixed it! Yay! My playing around with the settings worked. Ha-ha! I'm technologically useless and I still managed to fix things by accident by just playing around. Yay! Happy days. I went in and I saw my desktop audio under mixer was just a gray bar. So I was playing with the settings under audio. I think they were set to disabled and I changed them to default. And apparently that worked because now desktop audio has a green, yellow, red bar just like my microphone does. So apparently that's what happened is somehow those got disabled instead of default. And now apparently they are working. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, let's just start here. And go over here. Okay, energy. Okay, who else still needs energy? You do. And you do. And you do. Okay, not you. And you do. And you do. And you do. Okay, everybody now has energy upgrades. So we got that done. Yay! Now I need to run over here. My flux capacitor is out of juice. We'll run over here. Hello. Feed me. So glad someone told me about this little deal so that I can now have wireless charging of my wireless crafting grid. Oh my god, I was so tired of having to run back all the time and recharge myself. This little baby is the best thing ever. Okay. He's great. I'll pop him back down here. Lovely. Okay. How are we coming on those speeds? Speed? 32. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going the wrong way. My base and I'm still getting lost. Ugh, not a good sign. Okay. You. And you. And you. And you. And you. Okay, so we're gonna need... Oh, pipes. What do I have for pipes? Oh, I already have 12 more there. Sweet! Okay. Sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put the reactor together to figure out where the pieces and parts are that where they need to go. And then wherever the output is going to be for our processing, we're going to put the equipment in place to make our polonium pellets. And then from there, we're going to stick a pipe going down into the ground, and we're going to build a room down there, which we're going to have to be very careful because obviously we're in a desert. It's covered in sand. So we're going to have to do a little infrastructure around that to make a stone chamber to put our stuff in. But once we do that, we can put all of those barrels down there, connect it with some high-grade pipe, and be ready to rumble with our reactor. Okay, you're done, and you're done, and you're done. Keep them coming. Okay, and you're done. So I should have 2 more. There should be 16 left to do. And then we will have this part complete. Okay, there's one more. And in you go. Okay, and then I'm gonna fission reactor mechanism. Okay. Structure must be a cuboid of a minimum outside size of 3 by 4 by 3, up to 18 by 18 by 18. The interior of the cube can be either air or fission control rods. A control rod is formed by a 1 by 1 block-wide column made of 1 to 15 fission fuel assemblies with a single control rod assembly at the top. Control rods must not touch each other. Maximum control rod density can be achieved by placing them in a checkerboard pattern. Okay. So here is so it's a 5 by 5, and it's got 5 reactor or 5 control rods inside of it. Okay. And then this goes in here. Okay. Let's go back to Petra and grab all of our pieces and parts. Oh, I'm out of room for pieces and parts. I need room for pieces and parts. There we go. Okay. Back. Okay. So I know I'm going to we want a 5. I don't have room to pick. Oh wait, it's going in there, isn't it? Totally running out of room. Okay, we'll put that in there. Here's my sand. Where did the rest of my sand go? Not in there. Okay, so I need 5. Okay, so if I do a 5 by 5, it's going to have 1 coolant input, 1 coolant output, 1 fission fuel input, and 1 waste output. So what I want to do is, if I put it here, I can put the fission fuel input next to this tank. And I can put the waste output on this side going this direction. And I could put the sinks over here. Then the coolant output can be hanging over the edge here, and I can vent the steam into something that is venting that steam until such time as I get a turbine to utilize it. Okay, so if I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so that is 5 by 5. I'm going to need the configurator. No, not mining. I don't want the mining dimension. I need my configurator. Back. Okay. Now, control rods go on top of fission fuel assemblies. So these would go here, 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 here. And then these would go here, 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 here. Okay, then we'd have now, do the control rods sit on top sticking out, or do they get covered with with that's not right. Come here. Too high again. Here. It goes there. This would be like that. Do you cover the control rod assemblies, or do they stick out the top? The edges of the outer shell must be made of the casing. The faces of the outer shell can be either casing, glass, ports, or the logic adapter. Okay. So I've got glass. We'll put the glass on this side. Oops, not there. Come here. Here, here, here. And then this one I want a port. So there should be a port here. And then there should be glass, glass. Okay. Then on, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, then over here, there should be glass, 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 glass. Then another port, glass, glass. Okay, then here we're going to have glass. I did it again. Glass, 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 port. And then the logic adapter glass. And then the fourth port glass. Then do I do oops. Come here. No. Come here, you. Thank you. Come down. Land. Land. Ah, did it again. Here, 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 here. Oh, I did it! Okay, that I do not need to have down here. I'm going to take that out. This is the one that melts, yes. In fact, this is the one that Potox has blown up with some frequency in Ocean Block. Oh, lucky us. But it's a necessary. It is a necessary item. Can you? It's as far away as I can go. I've got it over here by the swamp. Hey. I'm as far east as I can get. I know. Sorry, Shrek. And Enderman. Well, not so much the Enderman, but... And I will just reiterate, the nuclear accident in CT2 was not my fault. Not my fault. Not my fault. Just putting that out there. It was not my fault. District agrees with me, though. It was not my fault. Now, this is a far bigger reactor than what I had in CT2. I went bigger. Because I'm pretty sure the one I had in CT2 was the baby reactor, and it was only 3x4x3. But I need more polonium and more antimatter, so I went bigger. No, sir, it is not. But again, it's as far away as I can get it from your base. Yeah. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, so we are going to use the configurator to configure the 4 ports. So this port, I know, right? how do I do this? Oh, this is going to be output waste? No. Output coolant? No. Input only. We want that to be an input only. Okay, so then this one is going to be output waste, output coolant. We want that to be output waste. Okay, then this one is going to be input only. And then we're going to put this one, if I can reach it. Oi! Oi! You of so little faith! You've been gone all this time and you come right back. Oi, oi, oi! Output coolant. Okay. So, I've missed you too. I'm very glad to have you back. Have you recovered from the Tyreek Hill trade yet? I know I have not. I'm still in shock. Okay. It's currently disabled. That is what I'm very curious about. I mean, they got a lot for him. I mean, they definitely got their money's worth back as far as their draft picks. So now it's going to be a matter of what do they get with those. Okay, so I'm going to set it at the smallest rate possible, which is a 1 to start. This side is going to be the input of the fissile fuel. This side is going to be the input of the coolant. This is where we're going to input our sinks. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a sink there and a sink there. And that goes there. That and that. And then that goes there. And then I'm going to make the other one. This part does not involve anything involving radiation. So we can use our regular pipes for this piece. Everything else in here is going to involve things that are potentially radioactive, and so we cannot use our pipes. We have to use the Mekanism pipes, which also sadly are not very server performing friendly, but they are safer for handling radiation, which is kind of important. Kind of very, very important. So we're going to make that a priority for obvious reasons. And then we're going to put this on this side. So between the two of those, this should never, ever, 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 ever fall below 12,000,005. Again, repeating, should never, ever, 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 ever fall below 12,000,005. I mean, I can't say it enough. We never want that to fall below 12,005. So I have 2 sinks, both pumping in the water. As long as that coolant tank is full, this should not melt. Emphasis on there on should. because I had my baby reactor constantly filled with water, and somehow it still failed in CT2. And we have yet to figure out why. And we did check this out yesterday on the stream, and we have the reactor oh no, we're off one block. It's not all in a chunk, it's off by one block. Yeah, I'm seeing that. When we looked last night, we had it that it was going to be all in one chunk. When it was sitting on that corner. Oh, I was thinking probably of the 3x3x4. I didn't take into account the 5. That is where we have a problem. I need to shift everything over. Well, now how am I going to do this? If I shift everything a block that way, the reactor will all be in one chunk. It'll be the processing areas that'll be in a different chunk. I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to move the reactor one block north so that the reactor is all in one chunk. And then this is going to connect to the next chunk, and the processing area is going to be in this chunk. Come here, sink. Come here. Ugh. Darn and drat. That is why we would check these things before we got any further. Okay, gather all the things. Okay, so we need to extend this. Oh, I missed some. Come here. Come here. We need to extend this out one more. So its connection to the fissile fuel will all be in one chunk. have the feeling we are not going to get this up and running tonight as I had hoped, but I'm gonna get close. Okay. Yes, I hear you, Mr. Farlander dude, wherever you may be. Yes, I hear you. I really do hear you. But I'm really too busy to talk to you right now. Because I really would like to get this project done tonight. I know, it's a very important project. Very tight deadline. Well, it's because I have a bedtime. I know, I don't follow my own bedtime. Why should I start now? I know. I try to follow my bedtime. Try being the operative word there. Okay. Alright, so now take 2. Try this again. Okay. So we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 by 5, right? Okay. So then we're going to put the fission fuel assemblies in the checkerboard pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the control rod assemblies are on top of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then we're going to have these on the corners. Okay, then we're going to have here. Now, instead of putting it in the middle, I'm going to put the port here, because that way it'll be a straight shot here. Minimizes the amount of pipes I have to have. Okay, and then this one gets another there. And then over here, and this one gets one here. And then this one goes and this goes there. There. Okay, then Let's not fall in. Thank you. And then we'll put this in the center again. Great, okay. Okay, and then we'll use the configurator again to configure things. So now this one needs to be input only. This one needs to be output waste. This one needs to be input only. And this one needs to be output coolant. Okay. Then we're going to put our sink, water, here. This is going to go here and here. And this is going to go here and here. And then that is going to fill up with water. That should give us the 12.5 again. Now it says you can have... The interior of the cube can be either air or fission control rods. So, like, if I made this one taller, could I fit more water in there? As I fall in the holes again. It's like if I come up here and do this. Oops. Come here. Oops. Not that. No, dang it. I'd want that there. Ooh, it did. Okay, how much are you holding now? 15. Okay. So I had enough to go one higher, and I got an extra 2.5 million gallons of water into the coolant. I'll take that. More room for more coolant decreases the likelihood of it melting down due to lack of coolant. Okay. I can take that off. Alright, so the fissile fuel will go in here. Then the output of that is going to come out here. Now, the fissile fuel, here. Use. So in a fission reactor, fissile fuel produces steam, and then it produces nuclear waste. Guys. Guys. You're very rude. You're very rude and very loud. You're very rude and very loud. But I thank you for the underpearls. Because those would always be welcome. And I see more of your friends over there. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Fissile fuel used generates nuclear waste. Nuclear waste in a solar neutron activator will make polonium. So I need to bring the nuclear waste out. I don't know where he went. I saw him. Okay, so we need to bring the nuclear waste out of here, down this way, and we need the solar neutron activator. Oh. Hi. Oh, that sounded more icky than normal. Ew. Hey, dude. Goodbye. Okay. I keep hearing you, but I don't know where you are. It's really very annoying. Okay. So now I gotta remember, these things are quirky. It's... stuff comes in from the bottom, right? Jeez, you scared me, you stupid Enderman. Okay, so we're gonna need... Okay, that holds gases. That's what I'm gonna want. So I'm gonna want this coming out of here, out here, like this. And then I'm gonna want... How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do... this. Then I could do 2 more of them right next to it. So I could, in theory, have up to 3. But I don't want to lay the pipe until I actually do, so I don't end up with radioactive stuff in there. And then I'm going to take that off. And then this is going to be set to, oh, nope, here, pull. Okay, so this is going to pull the nuclear waste out of there into the pipe and put it into the solar neutron activator. Okay, so then this is going to convert here. Okay, so this is going to convert the nuclear waste into polonium. Here, which is extremely radioactive. And it will not decay inside a radioactive waste barrel. So you could store it safely in a radioactive waste barrel, but you can't move radioactive waste barrels, which is a little scary. But then we have this, 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 this. Okay, so then the polonium needs to be mixed with water in a pressurized reaction chamber to make our polonium pellets. And I have one of those. Take that back. Okay, so what we can do is put the actually I rotate, right, rotate. I rotate it this way, and then put the PRC here. Then I should be able to use this for the water. Okay, so we got use, here, use. So then we could take water with polonium. Then we need to mix it with fluorite dust to make the polonium pellets. I think this has to then rotate. Which way does it have to go? Actually, I think this one can go. No, I think that's right. I'm going to put this, if I put this like this, it's going to get the water from in there. Then I need to feed items in one direction, items out a second direction, and then the waste is going to have to go out. Okay. We've already got, that's the sulfur. Right? So right here, we've got the fluorite. Okay. So all we have to do is to make the fluorite dust. Here is bring a crusher. So if I go home mechanism, and I'm going to bring that crusher back. Okay, that will give it power. Then we should be able to use this pipe here. And connect here. Okay, that's going to make the dust. Okay. So then this, I just need to do this. And this. That should be going in there. Yes. Okay. Then what I want to do is put a buffer in there. So we're going to get an oak drawer. put oak drawer right in the middle. This. So you'll feed it into here. Take you out of there just temporarily so I can get my key out. And put this in there and lock it. Okay. So that way, this will maintain fluorite. Okay. So this is outputting items to the right. Polonium pellets are not radioactive. I believe those can just output to a drawer. Okay. I think the only thing we have left to do now is our radioactive gas, which is going to be output down. Then what we'll do is we will have cobble. And waste. Not now, Mr. Farlander. I'm busy. I said not now, I'm busy. I said I'm busy. Now. Ooh, I made sparkles. I think to do this, I'm going to have to like, of all the places to build this, the desert is like the worst place because I can't build a room under the sand very well. Okay. Oh, now this is interesting. There's sandstone here. Oh, well, hello. I found you. Okay, well, this explains much. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yes, you. Come here. Thank you. Now I gotta find where my hole was. Where was my hole? Aha! There is a cave in the swamp. Dude. Dude. Why are there so many Endermen? I do not know. I know, I don't know either. What I do know is I need to find my hole. Where is my hole? Hole. Aha! Hole. Okay, so we're going to... We'll fix that later. We're totally requisitioning this cave area to be our nuclear waste depository. Yep, that's what we're totally gonna do. Yep. That was so bad! Oh my gosh. That was so bad. That is what we're going to do. So we're going to... I know. And that's even with it being torched up, I still get that many. On this side anyway. Okay, put that there. Got so much stuff. Okay. Pick up all of you. Because then I will seal up the end of this cave. Sand. I can use sandstone to clean up top. Hopefully. Okay. Put that. Clean up all this. And all that. Okay. And you. And you. And you. And you. Okay. So then we're going to take out okay. So here's that area. Dude. Goodbye. Okay, so here's my down. Okay. More sand. Sand. Then get some of these here. I heard you coming. Goodbye. No. In here. Cobblestone. Okay. Okay, so from here, do that. What the hell was that? Maybe I don't want to know. You know, I'm thinking maybe I don't want to know. Nothing to see here, folks. We're just gonna bury some nuclear waste in the edge of a swamp. Really nothing to see here at all. Nope. Nothing to see here at all. Nope. 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 No, not so much. No. No. But my nuclear waste is biodegradable. I mean, that should count for something. A teeny tiny something, maybe, but... Well, no, it's like a millibucket in 1,200 ticks, so I mean, it's not... I didn't say it was going to be fast, but... It will do it. Okay. I'm going to seal this up here. There's my... Well, you know... That's the backup plan. You know, backup plans are good. Very good to have. You're going to run a cable to your waste dump when I get there. You're going to dump all your waste in my dump? Well, that seems very rude. I mean, we might as well only contaminate one swamp. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why not? Yeah, why not? I mean, it's not like District, who's building his entire base at spawn, so you know we'll have to worry about potential or nuclear disaster at spawn. Nothing could go wrong there, right? Yeah. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. No. Just even that out. Yeah, well, yeah. You should check out Spawn. There is quite a lot of development that has happened there since last you visited. It has expanded quite substantially. And I know you've seen some of it during streams, but I mean, it is a pretty fine place. Okay, where are my torches? F7. We'll put one on that side. We'll put one there. Put one here. Yeah, we've all been busy. Okay, we need coal. Coal. And we need sticks. Sticks. And grab some more torches. Okay, we're going to put one there. And we're going to put one there. We're going to put one here. And here. And here. And here. And there. And there. And there. Okay. So I think so the pipe is going to come from up there down to here, approximately like to here. And that one needs to go up, oop, not there, here. Okay. Okay. And then do is feed there. Okay, so then the pipe will come down here. And then once the pipe's in place, I can put a barrel. I can do this. I can put that there and put this there. That. Then we'd have here, 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 here. Then we'd have casing again, put barrel up. Here. 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 And then, okay, I think it's this one. And then from that pipe can come this way. pipe can go up and over that way, and then this is going to go... So that would be one offshoot. Not there. Pipe would go this way and then go down, and then we would run another line here. I think that'll be right. Give or take a smidge. Measurements are not exact. I'm going to have to work on that. But we will... Need to put 7. Fill this hole in here. Because I made a hole. Okay. Alright, so that lets us have access to this until we get a pipe down here. And I think I'll probably want set home nuke dump. Bing! Okay. So now we have a way of teleporting right down there. Now all we have to do is put the pipe in place, run it across all of those barrels, add more barrels, fill that space up with pipe and barrels, and we'll have our facilities set up to collect nuclear waste. And once we have that done, the infrastructure is in place. This particular machine does not have any updates or upgrades, so we don't have to worry about any of those things, so that's good. This one does, so we're going to want to do a speed and energy upgrades on it. Otherwise, we're ready to go. We are ready to start the engines and run after we get that last bit of infrastructure done. I am very happy about that. Let's run over to the mob cages one last time. Let's check and see how our 2 mob cages have done. Oh dear, that's going to be a problem. Yep, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is get the trash can. Okay, hang on a minute. Let's grab this. Put this and this and this away. Grab the trash can. That range is here. So then, oh, I don't have enough for that. Do I have any more? No. Okay, I need more item pipe. See you later, Captain. We're up to 8 ingots. Oh my gosh, this is going to take a while. Okay, so then I'm going to need... Take that out. Definitely save that. And I'm going to need... Pipe filter. Oop. Pipe upgrade. Go. Here, 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 here. I know. That's why it was important for me to get that mob cage done tonight to start building, because I knew it was going to take a while for those phantasmal ingots to build up. I remember, I think it was Potox. Was it Potox or District? One of the two of them had mentioned before how awfully slow that was. Okay, and then I'm going to need this and this. I'm going to need snowballs. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, this, add snowballs, submit. Say goodbye, snowballs. Say hello, garbage. And that will leave room for what we really want, which is that. And I'm going to take the All right. Yep, we did some good things tonight. That is for sure. It was very nice seeing you again, and I am so happy that you will be back on the server joining us again. That is great, great news. I'll be finishing up here momentarily. I'm just going to clean out all of the regular garbage, so that way this has plenty of room. And we'll let this run. I don't know how many creative essence we're going to need, but we don't need all of those snowballs. So we'll just dump them for now, make more trash. I can switch that out for a different kind of trash can in the future, potentially. But for now, we'll go with that. And that will work quite nicely. I'm going to eat some more of my cooked llama. And then we will put the configurator away so I don't lose it. And for now, I'm going to put the pipe away so I know where that is. And we'll put those away. And put that away, put that away. Go back to Petra. And we'll put those spare casings away. And put the bucket back. And the extra torches. Okay. Well, guys, I think we are going to call it there. We have had a very successful night. We got all of our upgrades done for our fissile fuel production. We got our mob cages done for our ghost and our snow golem. So we are now able to be working on our phantasmal ingots and the blue heart things that we need for the salamander eyes. So that is two important things coming out of our mob cages that we got set up. And I got my headset working, so I have a much better microphone for doing my streaming with, which makes me very happy. And I was able to fix it so that there's sound on the stream again, which appreciate the heads up that there was an issue there, so I knew to keep playing around with it. And thanks to JC and Captive for helping me with playtesting my new microphone. I'm really excited, and again, thanks to Potox for shopping for a new mic for me. I am very, very grateful for that because I know very, very little about these types of things and really appreciate somebody in the know assisting me with that. And we have the reactor built. It is filled with lots and lots and lots of water. We have a full chemical tank of fissile fuel ready to go. And we have the polonium and pellet production machines in place. We just need to put some upgrades on one or two of those. The only thing we have left to do now is lay the pipe down to our nuclear dump and lay out all that pipe. And then once we do that, we can turn on the switch. We'll start at just level 1, so the lowest setting of fuel burn we can do. And we will see what happens. And if it looks stable, the fissile fuel's keeping up, the water's keeping up, we can slowly increment that fuel burn up, and then we'll produce more polonium pellets. And then what we'll do is we'll start knocking out all of the quests that require those polonium pellets. And once we knock out all those quests requiring polonium pellets, we can shift to using the polonium to making our antimatter. So that will be like phase 2. We'll be using the polonium for antimatter production versus polonium production. But we need the polonium pellets. If I come back over to here, we need polonium pellets to be able to make the fusion reactor. Not that one. The casing. Where's the casing requires polonium pellets. And we're going to want more and more and more power to have it be available so we can be processing the polonium into antimatter once we think we're done making polonium pellets. So once we get all of the quests done, the mech suit and all this other stuff, then we're ready to make this reactor, get all that done. We will be able to work on making the SPS. Because this, of course, also requires that. And the plutonium pellet. I was right. So we're going to need to share that nuclear waste with that second machine. Okay, so we have a little more infrastructure so that we can make both polonium pellets and plutonium before we can get that reactor turned on. We're going to have to add a little more infrastructure. I figured there had to be a use for that plutonium pellet. I just didn't remember it. So that will be our next adventure, working on the rest of this infrastructure, and hopefully be ready to get that reactor turned on very, very soon. So this has been another installment of Ragnamod 6 here on the Ragnamod 6 server. I'm Katiana. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. I'm sorry for the sound issues and the other fun technical issues we had at the beginning of the stream, but had to get everything set up with my new headset, and hopefully everyone else will agree that the sound quality is better than it was under my old webcam. I'm very excited to be able to upgrade my streaming technology with this headset. I'm very, very excited about that. So, if you liked what you saw tonight, please consider dropping a follow. And if you are really enjoying the series, consider dropping a subscription. Remember, you can get a free subscription with your Amazon Prime membership. I will be uploading tonight's stream to YouTube, where the entire archive of my Ragnamod 6 series can be seen under Katiana Swift Arrow, along with my CT2 series and my DDSS series. And for those watching on YouTube, I apologize for the lack of sound during the majority of tonight's stream. Hopefully I have those settings fixed and we will have normal sound, game sounds going forward. And I will try to watch the stream and see how the sound balance sounds out after it gets uploaded to YouTube. Check see how that is sounding. And yeah, I'm very, very excited. So, I'm gonna catch you all later. You all have a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever the case may be, and we will catch you next time. Good night, everybody.